Hi, Mike here. I'm in my basement with my Rheem Hybrid Water Heater. I put a video out about 6 months ago with a kind of mixed review about this specific unit. That video has about 11,000 views, a lot of comments, a lot of questions have come to me. I've answered a lot in the comments, but I wanted to address all of the questions in this one video. The questions I'm going to answer are things like, have I seen a savings per month? And if I've seen a savings, how much? What's the payback on something like this if you do install it yourself? How does it perform? Does it make plenty of hot water, or do we run out of hot water still? And would I do it again? And I have a lot of thoughts there. So we're going to get into all that in this video. All right, so before we get into savings, performance, and things like that, I just want to recap the issues I was having 6 months ago. So I did get this from Home Depot myself. I installed it myself. The total cost of installing this 50-gallon unit was about $1,600 and a full day of my work. One of the things that happened right away is we were running out of hot water, and on top of that, it was cooling my basement down. I have a 1,000 square foot basement here. It was cooling it down substantially, and I really had a big concern about that. And the reason why it was doing that is because it's a heat pump, right? So what it does is it pulls all of the heat out of the air through through the intake up here, and then it blows cold air. And literally when this is running, it's like an air conditioner all year long. So you have an air conditioner running in your basement or wherever this thing's installed. So this could be a good thing and a bad thing, okay? So to recap, that was where I was at 6 months ago. I was not very happy. I was not getting a lot of hot water, and my basement was cold, okay? So I just wanted to recap that before we get into where we're at now, which is about 6 months later, and how I have remedied or maybe not been able to remedy some of those things. Okay, let's answer the question, has this unit saved us any money? It actually has. So what I did was I have all the numbers from last year, the same month, so April, May, June, July, and August. And what I did was instead of looking at the money, I actually looked at the usage. So this is our usage of those months in April through May in 2019. And then this is the same months, but in 2020. Okay, so here you can see there was a drop in usage of 21% in April, 44% in May, 36% in June, 20% in August, and 36% in August. And this gives us like an average savings of around 30%. Okay, so if you were gonna look at your bill every month, you can kind of say, I'm gonna save around 30% by maybe installing one of these units. I did it this way. I did it the usage way, opposed to actually showing you how much money I'm saving, saying like, oh, my bill went from $150 down to $100 and I saved $50, because there's so many different variables. We actually have an ability to get our power from a different place, so that actually dropped my bill down. My bill has actually dropped down substantially because I've done a lot of other things to make the electricity itself cheaper. Not so much the usage. The usage, all this usage is down from the water heater. So we have saved, on average, about 30%, okay? Next thing we're gonna do is look at the payback. Now let's talk about payback. How long will it take for this unit to pay for itself, basically? The final cost, like I said, was $1,600. I installed this unit myself, so that's why it was only $1,600. Okay, so what I did was I took my average electricity bill per month before I installed the unit, which was about $243 per month, okay? Then what I did is I took the 30%, like I said, which we were saving each month. That gave me about $75. I'm saving around $75 per month by installing this unit. So doing some simple math, this unit will pay for itself in about 22 months. So 22 months from now, the savings that I afforded by installing this unit will basically pay for the unit. And then everything beyond that point, I should be saving around 75 bucks a month. Now you got to average that over all the, the whole year. But I think that's a good representation of what you would expect to save per month if you were to install one of these units. All right, so it's actually pretty simple math. It's right there. Okay, now what I want to talk about is how does the unit perform? How does the hot water heater make hot water? Does it do it well? Does it do it bad? Well, in the beginning, it was doing it terribly. I was always running out of hot water. But what I did was I used the app that they have to actually remedy that situation. So what I did here is I just have the app up on the TV for better viewing. And here you can see this is my water heater. Right now it's set to 120 degrees because it's nighttime, no one's taking showers. We don't need an abundance of hot water. So I have it set to 120 degrees. Now you could do this manually, but what I did is I actually just used the scheduling feature, which is right here. So if I click that, this will bring up my schedule. So you can see across the top here, you have every day. So you can set a different schedule for every single day, but I just set the same schedule for every single day. So what I did was at 7 a.m. So can you see the 132 in there? Mm-hmm. So at 7 a.m., when we're most likely to get showers, obviously in the morning, we have it set all the way up to 132 degrees, okay? And we keep the unit at 132 degrees until 2 p.m. At 2 p.m., we allow it to drop back down to 120, okay? And what that does is that saves us energy, right? Consumption of power from 2 p.m. all the way through the rest of the day, through the night until the next day at 7 a.m. when it then jumps back up to 132 degrees, okay? So this has actually helped great. Obviously, I've saved tons of energy, even having this schedule set up. I started at 125. I started at 125, 26, 27. I got up to 132. For us, that was where that was a sweet spot. So for you, it may be different. But this actually helped us, this remedied the situation in the beginning of us running out of hot water. So we're good. And a couple other things, you can actually check your usage. So you can see how much you've used. You could use current versus historical data. And I go back, you can see it's December, you can see I used 2 kilowatts that day, 175, okay, and you could do it weekly, monthly, yearly. So let's see, since I've installed this unit, I've used, my battery's going low, I've used 913 kilowatts of power. So that's basically since March till now, so I don't know, 6 months. I've used that much power. So, okay, so this app's pretty neat. There's plenty of videos actually on this app. The unit actually even has different settings. You can set it to heat pump only, high demand, electric mode, and stuff like that. We'll actually probably talk about this one in the next section. Okay, so with all that considered, would I do it again? I know 6 months ago, the answer probably would have been no, but I've learned and things have gotten a little bit better. So I definitely have a pretty strong feeling about if I would do this again. I'm just gonna get this one out of the way. If you're in the South, so a place like Florida or somewhere where your water heater is actually in your garage because it doesn't freeze, or somewhere where you're gonna install this where there's tons of heat, like an attic or something like that, I would say all day long, yes, 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 get this unit. You're gonna save tons of energy. You're actually gonna benefit from the byproduct of it actually blowing cold air, and you're gonna love it. So if you're in the South, I would say go for it, or in a warm climate, definitely go for it. Now, if you're in the North like me, I live about an hour outside of Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. So we do get months that are in, the whole month is freezing temperatures, so it gets cold, okay? So where mine's installed, it's installed in the basement. It's a finished area, and I want that area to be for my kids, for me, for my family to go down there and be comfortable. And the problem with this unit is that when it runs in the winter, I'm seeing an average of about 6 degrees that it drops the temperature down. So it was bringing my basement temperature down 6 degrees. I think it was down to 57 degrees at some point. That's just not comfortable for my family. So one thing I might have to do during those super cold months is actually turn the heat pump option off. Now, that's gonna obviously, it's gonna run in just normal heat water mode, electric resistance mode, which is a way more expensive way to run a hot water heater. But I may have to do that for, I would say January and February when it's super cold. So I may have to turn that heat pump off. Now that pushes my payback out a few months. We said it was 22 months, so maybe I won't get payback until 30 months or something like that. But it may be worth it because I don't want my basement to be super cold. So that'd be something you could do. So, I would say 8-9 months out of the year, you would get a lot of savings. But maybe during those months where it's super cold and you don't want the room to be even colder, you run it in resistance mode. But let's just say you installed it somewhere, you're in the north and you're installing it somewhere where you don't care what the temperature of that room is, and you don't care if it goes down to 57, then I say go for it. Just like the south, you're gonna benefit from it. Just note that room is going to get colder. It's going to affect the temperature of that room. So that was something I really had a problem with. I think I have a way around it. Like I said, I'm going to just turn off the heat pump mode. And another thing I thought, I have electric heat, but another comment I saw was, well, it should be installed next to a furnace where there's plenty of residual heat. Well, if you live in an electric house, and you actually have an electric furnace, it doesn't give off a lot of residual heat. It's not like a gas furnace. Gas furnace burns super hot, gives off a lot of residual heat. So if this thing's installed next to a gas unit, it has plenty of heat to steal from that furnace to put into the hot water. But if you live in a house that you have gas heat, why would you have an electric water heater? Just put a gas water heater in. So that's kind of my thoughts around that. So this was sort of just some notes I had. Would I do it again? So just to sum it up, if you're in the South, do it. If you're installing it somewhere where you don't care about the temperature, I would say do it. But if you're in the North like me and you still want to get these savings, you should install this unit, but maybe during those super cold months, you turn the heat pump off because you have the ability to do that with the app, and you run it in resistor mode. And again, during that month, you're not gonna get that savings, but you'll make it up in the end. So I think that's it. I would say go for it. And I think you got all my thoughts about it. Please subscribe. Please like this video. That'll help me. Please comment. People have hundreds and hundreds of comments on the other videos. So if I get more comments and things I haven't answered, I'll do another video and explain all that. So thank you for watching. Again, please like, please subscribe, and please comment. Thank you.